I'm Joanna Fantozzi, Senior Editor with Nation's Restaurant News, and I am here with Jeff Douglas, who is the CIO of Potbelly. Hi.
Hi, how are you, John?
Nice to see you after a couple hours after we had chatted with each other earlier. We were on the build versus buy panel, and yeah, kind of based off of that, what were some of the takeaways that you had from learning from your colleagues on that panel?
It was an interesting panel. First of all, being on the buy side and being next to Shayna, who is at a smaller company, just kind of realizing there's a journey. There's a journey that you go through as a brand, and you have to generally start with off-the-shelf software.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see, from Papa John's.
Yeah.
Shanika, thank you. It was interesting to see her, journey at Papa John's, and she built out a ton of technology.
Yeah.
But that's how they maintain their competitive advantage. So it was interesting just to see kind of the balance between, and then finally with Jamie just inheriting some legacy technology.
Right.
That is always tough.
Definitely a diverse group of people from all different experiences on that panel. And I guess, where are you guys on that journey right now?
We're just getting to the point where off-the-shelf software isn't giving us everything that we need. We deployed our tech stack back in 21. We've had a 96% improvement in our own digital channels, so it's done a tremendous job for us. But we're getting to the point right now to continue driving unique experiences for our customers. We're having to build custom code, custom experiences that we just can't get out of those third-party APIs. So we're slowly but surely getting towards the build side. But I don't think that we're ever going to get to the point where we're building out transaction processing. We're building out loyalty engines and things like that. We're really going to build some basic components that give us some flexibility around the customer.
Well, something that Shayna said that was really interesting is that she was saying that you can also have some custom built technology as well, so meaning that you can work with off the shelf tech companies and just be like, hey, can you work with me if you have like something like a white space kind of a white label kind of product that I can kind of plug and play and things that I need. Do you think that that's a possible route?
In our technology mission, one of the components is buy, partner, build. And so if you can't buy a solution that gives you 80% or more of what you need, then talk to your partner and see if your partner is willing to stretch their capability, and that gives you longevity with that partner, right? And then if you've exhausted that, and hopefully you don't exhaust that for a period of time, then go ahead and build.
Yeah. What's something you think you'd want to build in the future, maybe?
It's a great question. I think most of the things that we would build are really around personalization. It's really trying to get the right product to a customer at the right time, and you just can't do that through the offer engines, the capabilities in your loyalty engine. You really can't get that there. You have to build that on your own. So that's probably the next place that we would go. As I said, we would never even touch transaction processing. I shouldn't say never. That's not something we're interested in right now.
Yeah, and I feel like that personalization and customization is really the way to go right now.
Yeah.
I think that so many customers really want that experience that is not only easy and simple, like I log onto this app and I know exactly where I'm going, but also there are personalized offers and my homepage is exactly, is that something you guys are working toward?
Absolutely. That's what we want. We want to be able to provide our customers with what they want out of our brand. Sure, I want to introduce you. I want you to shop around. I want to show you, what we've got in terms of a meatball sandwich versus our Italian, if you're a constant rec person. But I also want you to know that when you go to our app, the rec is there, and I'm going to give you offers related to the rec. Okay, because that's what's meaningful to you. That's what keeps you coming back to our brand. So personalization is a key.
Yeah, I was talking the other day on a podcast about I'm making up this word, but Amazonification of the restaurant industry. That's a doozy of a word, but meaning that when you go to your Amazon homepage, it is for you. You're not seeing like random things that you've never ordered or within the category that you could easily go to your orders and your past orders. You can see like what is going on with your order. It's not difficult to navigate, and I feel like that's kind of where we're heading next.
Yeah,
with the restaurants.
Oh no, absolutely, and restaurants have been lagging in this space. Not the big guys. The big guys have been doing it for a while, but we've been lagging in this space. But it's great that Amazonification has shown us the way. I'm going to try and hold on to that one, by the way. It's good that that's shown us the way because the data is there. The tech is not difficult, okay? Even if you talk about the build, a brand of our size shouldn't be afraid of building those components, right? If you ask me to, build everything from the processing side all the way through, yeah, sure, I wouldn't do that. But building those personalization components and accessing that rich data that we already have is just sitting there dormant. That's easy.
Yeah. What do you think is an example of something that's like a personalized element that of the Potbelly experience that you think customers should experience?
Something that exists today?
Yeah, something personalized, either something that exists today or something that you want to in the future.
Yeah, so something I want to in the future is I've got your order history. I understand what your preferences are. So there's two things. One, the product that you order consistently, if I have a related product, I definitely want to introduce you to that related product. I want to take you from your go-to, but I want to introduce you to that related product because that could become your product in the future. So that's one thing. The other piece of it is you just need to know where our shops are. Some of that is through some additional technology that we would bolt into the system, but you need to understand where our shops are. If I go to my mother's house, there are 2 shops near my mother's house. Recently, I found out that there's a third, right? So sometimes you think that the brand isn't near you, and it actually is, or it's close enough that it's like, yeah, let me go ahead and go over there. I didn't realize it was just 1 block over from this other place that I usually go. We've got to get to where you are, what you like, and making sure that we put that in the app.
Yeah. Well, something that I don't remember exactly what vendor is doing this, but there is a vendor that I spoke to about this, that they're doing this like sort of extreme geofencing. That's not what they called it, but similar to geofencing technology, where it sort of integrates while you're driving with, like, let's say a maps feature, and it'll be like, hey, you are coming up on a Potbelly in a mile. Do you want to place an order? Kind of thing, So, which is kind of interesting and could be a little bit dangerous if you're not doing voice ordering. So hopefully people aren't using their phone while driving, but but I feel like that's kind of a way to introduce people to the brand in kind of a personalized way.
No, absolutely. I'm not hawking Tesla, but they do a pretty good job of, at a certain time on a certain day, like, I think you're going to this place as I'm driving, because I'm like, wait, you have no access to my other information. You have no access to my cell phone information. But because I've been to that location at that time of day, on that type of day, that's the first thing that shows up in my list of navigation places. Yeah. It would be great if now you can say, hey, I'll make a reservation for you. So just think about that.
That is very cool.
For an app like ours. I'm going to work. I usually order Potbelly a salad on Thursdays, double point Thursdays. It would be great as I'm going to work. Hey, are you wanting to place your order right now? It's awesome. I love that.
And you could even do something like you've ordered from here weekly. You've built up, let's say, some points. As you're passing by, and we'll throw in this order for you. We're gonna throw in like a cookie. Yeah. For free, Yeah. I'm just saying.
Who doesn't like the cookies? OCCs for everybody. I love it.
And I love your app. We were just talking about this. I spoke with your CMO about kind of rebuilding that app. And so I guess, like, from your perspective, what has changed about the app, and why do you think it's kind of a better customer experience now?
So first, we went away from a white label solution where we didn't have control over the user experience, nor did we have minimal control over the assets. And so we introduced a customized solution that gave us control over the assets and gave us control over the user experience. So there's more that we can do with that user experience in terms of the flows and how users navigate through. But that has unlocked all types of capabilities. So that's one thing. And then there's the design. Our design was getting a little bit dated. It was also very templatized. And so getting away from that templatized style and then having enough flexibility to say the design is changing and being able to change the design. So when we launched our new loyalty program, was that July? Did we launch it in July? I think we launched it in July. But when we launched our loyalty program, that's when we changed the design. And having that flexibility in the solution to be able to do that, I couldn't have done that before. So design is always going to change. If you've seen the Starbucks app over the last, I don't know, just call it 5 years, it's probably looked different.
Yeah.
5 times. You have to build capability to do that. And so launching the new tech stack back in 2021 gave us the underlying capability, and then we'll continue to evolve over time.
Yeah. And so that design changes over time because you want to evolve the user interface to be easier to use and nicer to look at.
Yeah.
And just, I guess, more fun or playful. So I guess how do you think the user interface has changed?
Well, playful is a good word because that's a part of who we are. And we have to stay true to brand, and we also have to stay true to our customer. So user experiences change over time. The way we use the web 10 years ago is different than the way we use it today. So you have to adjust then, but you have to stay true to your brand in making that adjustment. And I think that's really what we try and focus on is we want to be playful. We want to, be a little lighthearted in our solutions. So that's what you see throughout the design. But we want to make sure that if the user is, if voice ordering takes off, we want to make sure that we're capable of giving that experience to the user. If text-based ordering is what the user wants, we want to give that experience to the user. So you want to have that flexibility in the design to do that, but you've got to stay true to the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be flexible enough to kind of go with the flow and how the tech space it's playing out in terms of trends and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You just don't want to copy somebody else's design or change your design for the sake of technology change, and now you're off brand. You got to stay on brand because that's why people are coming to us.
Is there something kind of like on that train there? Is there something you don't think at this point you wouldn't invest in? Like something that you're like, all right, that's not on brand for us?
In the stack, no. I think there are a lot of capabilities that we could still invest in. In the shop, yes.
Okay.
I think we never say no. But kiosk ordering is an example of something that doesn't fit our brand today. Mm-hmm. Okay, you've been to a Potbelly. You walk into a Potbelly. It's an atmosphere, right? Mm-hmm. Going through the line, standing with your friends going through the line, giving your sandwich to the person to load, giving the toppings as you kind of go through, right? And then never forget the cookie at the end. The kiosk takes away from that, okay? There may be certain situations in which the kiosk makes sense, but in today's world, the kiosk takes away from that. And we want to maintain that feel as you go through our shops. Similar situation in terms of the app. We want to maintain some sort of feel that you feel connected to the brand. You feel connected to that in-shop experience. So nothing from a digital perspective, but an in-shop perspective. There are some things we stay away from today.
I love that idea of you never want technology to make you feel disconnected. I'm going to take that away from this and kind of reverberate that as a mantra because I think that's so true. You don't want, and it's a fine line, right? Because maybe, I mean, for a newer brand, for example, technology could be their thing. It could be like, we're the robot, we were talking about a Brooklyn Dumpling Shop. They're huge on automation. That's kind of their thing. If that's your thing, then sure. But if it isn't, you don't want to make technology do an about face for the brand.
Yeah. No, you're 100% correct. And technology should enable your brand essence. And if it's not enabling your brand essence, then you're deploying technology for the sake of deploying technology.
Yep.
So I think the way in which we have a healthy blend between digital menu boards or analog boards, the way in which we are changing the technology for the employee on the back end through our Potbelly Digital Kitchen, all of those, they don't destroy the brand essence, right? I'm not walking in there and seeing a rack of screens and monitors, and we're making sandwiches in the back and then throwing it down a metal tray. That's not who we are. And so while that technology exists and maybe we can make sandwiches a lot faster, that's just not who we are.
I definitely get that. And then I kind of want to end with, now we have a couple of days left of the conference still. What are you looking to learn, do, see, etc.?
Trying to fill in holes.
Interesting.
There are places in our operations where technology can solve problems for us, and we just really need to engage with those partners and talk through solutions. It's events like this is how we changed our back office solution. We've got a tipping problem today. You know, our top technology in our tipping environment is Excel. That's a problem. There are vendors in there that have solved that problem. So what I'm really looking for is I'm fill in some of the holes that I have, see if I can't make some relationships and make some partnerships that make sense for us, prioritize what makes sense, and then kind of move from there. At the end of the day, if I go back to, I started at Potbelly in 2019, we've evolved all of the technology. So now it's time to fill in where we just don't have technology. So we don't have a lot of legacy systems in our environment today.
All right, now no more Excel spreadsheets.
Exactly.
All right, awesome. I think that's a good note to end on.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joanna. It's great.